Diamond in Omaha today. Our sports team has been following the Dogs since the middle of the week. We're going to have the very latest from them coming up later on in sports. And speaking of those Dogs, thousands of Bulldog fans may have traveled to Omaha to support the team, but there are still plenty of fans still in Starkville that spent the day gearing up to watch the big game on TV. A few Starkville restaurant managers have planned a few baseball viewing parties, and they say showing their support for MSU baseball is really the least they could do. Our Cash Matlock has more on the story.
So we're expecting a good turnout. We usually have a good turnout for the games. People still in town, not in Omaha, will be tuning in to watch.
Patrick Sandage is the assistant manager at the Central Station Grill in Starkville. He says the restaurant has been keeping up with MSU baseball for weeks now, often hosting watch parties.
So tonight we're going to have the games on all the TVs. We'll have the broadcasting over the speaker systems. Be running a special on some drinks. We'll have $3 Bloody Marys, mimosas, and screwdrivers.
In fact, watch parties are pretty common this season. Across town at Stagger Inn, employees spent their Sunday getting ready for the big game.
We have a great atmosphere at Stag. Our regulars that will be here, we're kind of laid back, you know, they will yell, they scream for them. We'll have, I know a few of my friends are going to come up here and drink, so they're going to have a good time with that. We have great food that they can eat too, so I think it'll be a good time regardless if people aren't here too.
Manager Sarah Bain says the majority of their regulars are hardcore baseball fans.
Business, we would expect it to probably be busy because we're at Omaha, but honestly, everybody went to Nebraska. I have a lot of older regulars that went. We have a lot of college students that went. They got in vans and drove up there. They did crazy things to get there to watch them. So
both restaurants say supporting their Bulldogs is the least they could do in return.
I mean, the university does so much for us, bringing great guests in, so, you know, we like to give back, and these things are always fun to host things for the university, and it's always a great crowd for the Bulldog fans to come out. So.
Supporting the baseball team, they use us for catering orders. We have the coaches come in here and they use us. The baseball team actually comes and eats at Stag, so it's kind of nice to know that, like, people that are so highly thought of come here, so other people like to come here, and we fully support them, and we love them.
Both managers say showing their support for MSU baseball is something they look forward to every year. A 21-year-old man is fighting for his life after being shot in the head. Another man is in jail facing charges of attempted murder. Yalobusha County Sheriff Lance Humphreys says Colton McMahon is accused of shooting another man at point-blank range while inside of a vehicle. McMahon was a passenger in that vehicle. Investigators say the two exchanged words before McMahon allegedly pulled the trigger. The shooting happened Thursday night in the Oakland area inside a vehicle at the Shell station on Highway 32. The victim was flown to a Memphis hospital. Investigators described the scene as very intense and that a large crowd gathered after the shooting. A relative of the suspect was also arrested and is being charged with assault on an officer. Yesterday, McMahon's bond was set at $250,000. In national news, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he is reaching out to American allies in the wake of what Washington says were Iranian attacks Thursday on two commercial oil tankers. On CBS News' Face the Nation, Pompeo said a U.S. military deployment remained among the options that could be considered to ensure safe oil transport in the Middle East. Pompeo says President Trump has made clear, quote, he doesn't want to go to war with Iran, but says we will always have the authorization to defend American interests. CBS News' Meg Oliver has more on the reaction on the tanker attacks.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he's reaching out to U.S. allies after attacks on two oil tankers near the Strait of Hormuz.
We are going to work to build out a set of countries that have deep vested interest in keeping that strait open to help us do that.
Pompeo says he's confident the U.S. can take unspecified actions to restore deterrence against Iran, which the U.S. blames for the explosions.
You say a full range of options. Does that include a military response?
Of course. Of course, the president will consider everything we need to do.
Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton says a retaliatory military strike is warranted.
The fastest way to get the fire and fury of the U.S. military unleashed on you is to interfere with the freedom of navigation on the open seas and in the air. That's exactly what Iran is doing in one of the world's most important strategic choke points.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff cites the Trump administration's move last year to quit the Iran nuclear deal and impose economic sanctions.
The whole idea that somehow through this pressure campaign we were going to force Iran to capitulate and say, okay, we'll come back to the table, we'll give up everything, was naive, dangerously naive in the first place, and this is what our allies are reacting to.
Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg urged U.S. officials to defuse the situation.
This is not inconsistent with Iranian behavior that has been aggressive and often malignant in the region. The real question is, what can we do, given the facts on the ground, to ensure a measured response that will de-escalate rather than inflame tensions in the region?
The U.S. has been speeding up deployment of the USS Abraham Lincoln Aircraft Carrier Strike Group, and it's bolstering missile defenses in the area. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
It's now time to get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Jacob, will we have any more of this fall-like weather this week or the rest of the summer?
Nope, we're done. It's hot, humid. That's the way things will roll around here. Last week was a true blessing for us. Tonight, though, that muggy humidity is here. Dew points in the low 70s, 77 temperature in Starkville. Those scattered showers still continuing through the area with that warm air, that warm and summer type air. Here we're seeing 70s and 80s all across the board, still at the 10 o'clock hour. Band of light showers is pushing off to the north here. They may bring some showers through the overnight hours. More rain and storms expected on Monday and into the work week ahead. We'll talk about all of that coming up in just a bit.
Well, today is a special day. Happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. This is a day to celebrate these special men and everything they've done. We caught up with some people in Starkville to find out what their dads and stepdads mean to them.
Well, both of my parents mean a lot to me. They are the people who have always been there for me. They've supported me. They have raised me, helped me become the person I am today. So I always try to show my appreciation on both Father's Day and Mother's Day. So happy Father's Day to my father, Sam Warford.
To me, my father is like a friend I can always talk to, whether it's real late at night or just during school or whenever. He's always there for me.
Both my dads never did anything perfectly, but they both all attempted, and for me that meant the world.
My dad has always been someone that I can look up to, someone that I can talk to about a lot of things. He's been a very calming presence, kind of like a rock in the sea.
Some of our deployed troops are also wishing their dads a happy Father's Day. 3 soldiers from our viewing area are giving a special shout out to their fathers from overseas. Take a look.
I'm Chief Corrigan. I'm with the 184th ESC Syria Logistics Cell in Erbil, Iraq. I want to say hello to my son Juan Diego Corrigan and Gabriel Corrigan. Happy Father's Day. Feliz Dia de los Padres.
I'm Major Michael Bradley with the 184th Expeditionary Sustainment Command, Syrian Logistics Cell, Erbil, Iraq. I'd like to say hello to my stepfather, David Reese, in Smithville, Mississippi. Happy Father's Day.
I'm Sergeant First Class Kenneth Johnson with the 184th Sustainment Command at Camp Arif John, Kuwait. I'd like to say hello to my dad, Ricky Johnson, in Duck Hill, Mississippi. Happy Father's Day.
Well, speaking of Father's Day, holidays like today are big days for shopping and businesses. One Columbus store says this holiday is one of the biggest days for sales. Our Stephanie Poole has more on the story.
Holidays come and go throughout the year. Department stores tend to see a spike in sales during those special occasions, like Father's Day. Belk sales team manager Deborah Fennessy says the store has been swamped with customers shopping for gifts for their dads.
This morning when we opened the store, there was quite a bit of traffic. We did see that rush of traffic come through like when we first opened.
During a regular week, businesses usually don't receive the same point of sale as they would during Father's Day, Mother's Day, or Christmas. Fennessy says these special occasions lead to more sales and revenue.
They're good. It's been steady. Sales get generated by the specific holiday.
Although Fennessy works to help customers find the perfect gift, she also contributes to those increased sales on special holidays too.
I purchase socks. I purchase Adidas sportswear.
It doesn't matter if customers are buying small or large gifts, because it will still benefit the business. Fennessy says when it comes to buying a present for a loved one, it's not about the gift size or price tag. It's about the thought.
The price tag is basically, is for your father. Price is not the issue.
Reporting in Lowndes County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
Fennessy also says Christmas is when the store sees the highest spike in revenue. Well, congratulations to Lake Slang from Columbus on taking the quiz and winning 2 rounds of golf and Sunday brunch for 4 from Lion Hills in our Lion Hills Father's Day giveaway on WCBI. Another congratulations goes out to Frederick Williams from Steens and Brittany Alexander from Ware on getting the most votes and winning Cool Core gear from Mossy Oak and our Mossy Oak Fathers in the Outdoors photo contest on WCBI. Congrats, guys, and happy Father's Day. Well, coming up after the break, we have this week's Mom to Mom. Y'all stay with us.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Jory Talley.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get to Mom, we have got a special live shot coming out of Omaha to give you the latest on the MSU and Auburn baseball game. That's where we're going to find our Courtney Robb live with the latest. Hey there, Courtney. What can you tell us so far?
Jory, welcome to Omaha, Nebraska. And hey, thanks for joining me right outside of TD Ameritrade Park, where Mississippi State is currently still battling it out on the diamond against Auburn, and it's not going what we would normally see from Mississippi State, not exactly going their way right now against the Tigers. Currently, well, it sounds like something just happened, so maybe some improvement from Mississippi State trailing by 3 runs. Auburn currently leading 4-1 against Mississippi State. I'm unfortunately unable to check the score, so I can't tell you exactly what is going on, but what I can tell you is there was just lots of cheering from inside TD Ameritrade. Hopefully, the Bulldogs, even though they're trailing in the bottom of the ninth, they can get those bats rolling a little bit more. And if there's one thing we're used to Mississippi State doing is working hard in crunch time to hopefully come back. And if not, they'll be playing Louisville in the losers bracket later this week. But Jory, that's it for me here for now. We'll have more coming up later, but I'll send it back to you in Columbus.
We're looking forward to it, and we're going to have the latest coming up in sports later on in the show. Let's go back to Mom. Speaking of that, schedules can be hard to keep up with during the summer when school is out and all of the kids are home. Here's some tips on this week's Mom to Mom.
Moms, I've got your solution to get you through those long summer days. During the summer, I find that my kids are so bored. So last summer, I came up with this daily calendar. It helps them keep that structure that they've had at school, and also helps us get us through the day a little bit easier. So how I position mine, everybody's gonna get up, have breakfast, and get dressed. And then at that point, we kind of go into a little inside activity. That way, you've got your inside time, moms, to get yourself going for the day as well. Now that you're ready to start your day, I kind of go into the chore part of my day, and that whatever you've designated for your kids to do as chores, that's what they do after their inside activity. And then we have a snack, and then at that point we go outside, because I don't know if your kids are like mine. Mine always have to work into a good appetite. So every day after lunch or cleanup time, we do a different activity. So what I have done for my kids is designate a different day for a different activity. So every Monday I've designated that as Crafty Mondays. Tuesday I've got Game or Movie Tuesday, Let's Cook Wednesday, Think Thursday, so that will be something like read a book or do a worksheet, and then Field Day Fridays. And then of course after that time you've got the snack time, and then they can go back outside and get ready for dinner. So as always, moms, I would love to hear how you make it through those long summer days with the kids. Connect with me on Facebook. I'll see y'all next week.
Mom to Mom is brought to you by Mom to Be on.
Welcome back, everyone. The latest Men in Black movie debuted in theaters this weekend. How did the new generation of MIBs perform? Here's the very latest on the box office.
Rocketman encored in 5th place with $8.8 million. Dark Phoenix dropped from 2nd place down to 4th on ticket sales of $9 million, while Disney's Aladdin held on to 3rd with a $16.7 million weekend.
Anybody comes in here looking for trouble? Oh, well, they gonna meet my partners. I'm talking about Paul and Order.
The Secret Life of Pets 2 walked back to 2nd with $23.8 million, bringing its 2-week domestic box office total to just over $92 million.
We are the best kept secret in the universe.
I know. I want in.
Men in Black International invaded theaters this weekend with what industry watcher Box Office Mojo described as a disappointing open. The 4th film in the franchise was predicted to open with an estimated $30 million, but fell short with a $28.5 million first-place debut. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagello.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Take a look at our Skycam in Vernon right now here at the 10 o'clock hour. The strawberry moon, the full strawberry moon is rising. If you look really close earlier, we could see Jupiter right, I think it's right there, and the eastern horizon. Of course, the strawberry moon is a sign that wild strawberries are ripe to picking back in the good old days. 78 in Vernon right now, dew points in the low 70s around the area. Still 79 in Columbus, 75 in Starkville. I bet it's a little warmer than that, a little excitement there. 80 in West Point, 75 in Amory. There are a few showers and some rain off to our south here, creeping up to the north. I won't rule out some showers overnight tonight into areas along and south of US 82. Temperatures will be falling into the low 70s and upper 60s. 71 in Columbus and in Macon, 70 in Starkville, 69 in Eupora and in Louisville, 70 in Winona overnight tonight. As we head into the area here again, all across the southeast, seeing those low 70s out there, a very muggy night for us indeed. On Monday, the chance for some scattered showers and storms will come back. I think we'll see some storms, particularly into the afternoon and evening hours. I will not rule out a shower in the morning, though. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, maybe low 90s in a few spots. All the way up to 87 in Amory, 86 in Houston, 85 in Pontotoc. We'll hit 87 in Bruce. As we head into the Golden Triangle, 90 in Columbus, West Point, and in Starkville, 87 in Winona, 91 in Macon. West Alabama seeing some scattered showers and storms as well. 89 in Solent and in Vernon, 90 in Reform, 91 in Aliceville. As we look ahead here at Futurecast, notice by about midnight the rain and storms dissipate in our area. Still by morning, maybe an isolated shower somewhere in the area. Will start the day partly cloudy. As we get into the afternoon, then the heating of the day comes back. I think we'll start to see some of these pop-up showers and storms across the region. And I do think they'll pick up into the afternoon and evening hours, some showers and storms with perhaps a little bit of heavy rain carrying on through from west to east. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. As we look through the next couple of days, a low-end chance for maybe a stronger storm, maybe a little bit of strong wind and some small hail. I do think a lot of storms, though, will have frequent lightning and heavy rainfall. Can't rule out some flash flooding in some spots with all of the rain that's coming. I think widespread, generally 1 to 2 inches, but we can get those storms to train over areas. Could see maybe higher than that, 2, 3, perhaps even 4 inches. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. The best chance to see those higher rain totals, I think, will be north and west of the Natchez Straits. The reason for that here, as this cold front comes on through, it stalls out. I think finally Thursday during the day it will push on through the area. And that will be when Thursday night into Friday things look to dry out just a little bit. Good chance for rain and storms the next 4 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a few scattered storms out there. We'll see highs next weekend in the low 90s.
WCBI sports coverage of the NCAA College World Series is brought to you in part by Bill Russell Ford, Prestige Farms, OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, Home Store Furnishings in Starkville, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Well, what started as an uncharacteristic outing for Mississippi State ended in probably the most Mississippi State way. Come back fashion. A walk-off for Mississippi State gets them the win over Auburn this evening, trailing most of the game by 3 runs. And what do you know? Mississippi State ends up putting up 4 runs in the game to get them the 5-4 victory, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. The game legitimately just ending right now, and Mississippi State able to move on and play in these winner bracket coming up on Tuesday. But let's rewind and talk about this game and how it began for a second. Ethan Small on the mound and the good old Nickel Blacks. And the other day we talked to him and he was saying that he hadn't played in them yet this season, so call it superstition, but he was a little bit nervous about doing so and not playing in the good maroon and white. But it was kind of went that way for Ethan Small, in fact. We look at today, it was the second time in the past year that he's ever given up 3 runs in an outing for the Bulldogs. Definitely uncharacteristic, but hey, Ethan Small still doing what he does best regardless of that kind of action. He had 8 Ks in his 5 innings pitching. He was still dealing things out early and often, but Auburn was relentless, trying to get things going, and their bats were definitely hot in this game with homers and runs, and it was impeccable. But again, Mississippi State flashed forward to the bottom of the 9th inning, and when things with 2 outs nonetheless were not looking good for the Bulldogs. And what do you know, they ended up pulling off that great walk-off that we know and love from Mississippi State, which means that they will move again once into the winner's bracket. And as some might say, a great win for Mississippi State. We'll have more coming up for you tomorrow. That's going to do it here for me in Omaha, Nebraska. Courtney Rock for WCBI Sports. We'll have more coming up for you after the break.
WCBI sports coverage of the NCAA College World Series is brought to you in part by Monroe County Farm Bureau, Jackson Square Storage, Bill Cunningham, Attorney at Law, and Bank First, a better way to bank.
Well, happy Father's Day to all the Mississippi State dads out there.
That's right.
Great win. Happy
That's
Father's
right.
Day to my dad there. Of course, always get to love spending time with him.
Happy Father's Day to my dad, who is one of those Mississippi State dads. Love you, Dad.
I betcha. And, of course, the other folks in here
That's
want to wish
right.
Happy Father's Day to them.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads
Yeah.
out there.
Thanks for being great, Dad. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.